Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here and stopping by my channel. I'm Emily and I'm gonna do a flip through of my most recent junk journal that I've created. And there's a couple things I want to say before I get started. First of all, I am new to making these. I've been in paper crafts for probably about 15 or 16 years, like ever since I was a little girl, so I guess longer. So I'm totally new to making these, and I have pretty much single-handedly learned how to bind and what kind of glue to use and, you know, those kinds of things so far from fellow YouTubers. So I am going to provide links to their channels if you're kind of in the same position as me or you're really inspired by these kinds of videos. These are the channels that I like to go to. Now, what I have done is I have taken, you know, a little bit of what I know and incorporated into like things that other crafters are doing, because I'm trying to figure out like what works for me and my style, because this is something that I really love doing, but I want to make it my own. I don't want to do things that other people are doing. However, YouTube and just like the craft world is, extremely saturated with creative people, and I mean that in a good way. So it can be hard to kind of find your own ideas and not think you're taking someone else's ideas. So I just want to say that I have totally kind of taken a few of their ideas and I've tried to make it my own. However, I have learned from them, and I hope that none of them would mind, because I consider them to be extremely inspirational for me as a crafter. And, I really just kind of want to follow in their footsteps. I want to inspire people, and I want to give people ideas. And I want to, I just want to keep doing these junk journals. They're amazing, they're fun, and they're great. Okay, cool. So anyway, first of all, this is not my first junk journal I have made. I've made a couple. I'm just kind of getting like the covers and designing like the charms and things like that's so easy for me, and I'm always like really the most proud of doing those parts. The insides are what I'm really trying to make more unique and more just better, just trying to get better and grow and whatnot. So without further ado, we'll get started. First off, I don't have it to show because I've already given it to the recipient, but I have another journal that I made with charms and tassels, and you can check that video out as well. And so what I normally do my tassels on, because I've always kind of made purse charms and tassels and stuff for planners, and it was mostly like purses. So like I was saying, I've kind of been watching other YouTubers, and there's a YouTuber, I think her name is Jessica. I'm not positive on what her first name is, but I know that her channel name is I'm a Cool Mom, and she makes her tassels using these silver rings. And I love that idea. It's so awesome because you can make them super chunky, because how I usually make mine they're with basically like, you get them at the jewelry, like the jewelry aisle, the hardware aisle, I guess at Hobby Lobby or Joann's or Michael's, wherever. But they're for like bracelets or necklaces, like to hold them. So, oops. So I don't use this part. I use this part to make my tassels. Oh wait, I do have it. I can show you. I totally forgot. I do have it. It's a different book. So here it is right here. You can see. So I can't make my tassels like super huge because those rings are not that big. So anyway, I was really excited to see her idea. Like, how brilliant is that idea? The only thing I dislike about it is I usually work off of like this burnished metal and it doesn't match, so it kind of bothers me. But I have like hundreds of these rings from a previous job that I got. We're throwing all of our marketing supplies away, so why throw them away? I just, you know, I grabbed them because I was like, as a crafter, I know I could use those for something. But anyway, so I just wanted to show you those as a separate idea. I think I might stick with doing those that way, or just kind of do both. I'm not sure. But I also, she has an awesome tutorial that I'm gonna link as well. That she like sews the tassels, which never thought about that either. I just kind of always glued them, and it was just such a pain having to glue all of them and then wrap them. And I just didn't even think about running it through my sewing machine. So brilliant there. Yeah. So anywho, so this is my journal. It's the size of, you know, a regular book. I did use a vintage Reader's Digest book, and I just took out the pages and saved the cover, and I covered it in fabric. From there, I added paint around the edges. I didn't really do much with the back. I just kind of painted some more. And then after that, I added some metal book corners, which was, you know, super easy. I did get these from AliExpress. Yeah, so, and I got a bunch of them. And then, yeah, so I put an eyelet through the spine, and then those are the signatures. I'm trying to find a better string because I don't care for the string I'm using. I might just get some wax linen thread because it sounds like that's kind of what the normal thing to do when I was researching bookbinding. It's clasped together with just some burlap ribbon, and I just basically, you know, put it through here, and then all you do is just like a simple little tie, like when you first are tying your shoe, and it holds it. And then I embellished the front with just some fabric flowers, silk flowers. Whoop, get that there. Okay, let me make sure, there we go. Are we in focus? Okay. Also, you'll notice some of the Ding Ding charms. This is what is basically holding on these charms here. Let me give you a better look at these. So I use the Tim Holtz like hardware for adhering these, and I love it because I can attach more things to this clasp. And I just added another chain with some beads that I have in my stash. This phone, I just really dislike filming on my new phone. It's like blurry all the time, I feel like. Okay, so when you open it, this is kind of the first image that you see. It does lay flat, so that's nice, but when you open it, it's just kind of like a regular book. I did add a little bit of fabric chipboard here for a little bit more weight to the book. And then there is a lace pocket here that holds this envelope. There's a note card, and then just a 3x4 Project Life card in there that says, I think I like who I'm becoming. And I made this envelope. I also did some, what's this? This is like a modeling paste with a stencil. And the theme of the book is like a floral, kind of like farmhouse theme. So that's kind of what I try to stick with. There are a lot of tags that I made, ran through my die cutting machine. This is a tuck spot here. So at the top, there's lots of extra Post-its, little labels, paper clip. I did a little mason jar kind of journaling spot there. Lots of washi I did to try to coordinate with, I guess, the pages. Here's a little flip out that I made, book pages, another little Post-it, which is awesome because it can just kind of move throughout the book, or you can take it out if you don't like it, or if the person doesn't like it. I did have a vintage botanical book that I thought was pretty awesome. I found it at just a thrift store last week, so I added those in. And then I tried to use some punches. And then I added a paper clip with a little key charm. And this is a tuck spot, so there's a little pocket in here. Before I get the book sold, I will, before I sell the book, I will probably add some more in there. And then a little lace that is sewed on. And then here is a belly band, and I cut some lined paper and just kind of long ways to include as like a journaling spot. And I did it on the back as well. Those can obviously be taken out or moved throughout the book. I printed some vellum. This is I believe this is a linen PDF, like downloadable file from an Etsy shop. And she also has she has amazing books. Her name is Johanna Clough. Johanna Clough. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I apologize if she sees this, which I don't, whatever. Anyway, but I hope I'm saying her name right. I've pretty much tried to watch all her videos, but I bought some images from her Etsy shop and they print really well, and I'm pretty sure this is one of them. And I highly recommend it. I'll link that below as well. I also have included graph paper, more of the vintage botanical paper. And then here is another little pocket. This flower comes off, so if they want to move it around the book, they can. And then here is, nope, that's not a text book. Here's an envelope with some notebook paper, some Tim Holtz botanical die cuts. And here is a tag. So just more kind of, yeah, fun stuff. Here's another 3x4 card. Oops, I think I bumped the camera. Sorry about that, guys. Another 3x4 card that is just tucked in here with a note card. And an envelope. These I got from AliExpress as well. And I found some ledger paper at an estate sale last weekend, and I was like really excited. Didn't have the best experience at the estate sale, but yeah. So, and then here's a glassine bag with another botanical book page. And then I made another little tag here with some coordinating paper, some lace, or ledger paper. There's just lots of places to journal in this book or add photos. I didn't use any tea-dyed paper in this book. I wanted it to look more of like a clean and fresh, have a more clean, fresh look as opposed to vintage, but there are some vintage items in here. And these are just some little flip outs. And then this is a belly band. Again, I will probably stick something in here just to kind of call attention to that as well, so the recipient knows that, like, what all the features of the book. This is an envelope I've made. Another note card with a, I thought this was a fun prompt, you know, for the recipient, and that can go anywhere. And there's lots of lace, and some of it is vintage, like this one is a vintage lace. And I included a pin and attached a little pearl to that. And I also stenciled, added some washi. So yeah, there's some vellum in here. And then in every book, which again, I'm not sure, I actually think I got this idea from, she doesn't do junk journals, and I'll have to look her up, but I learned how to make traveler's notebooks from her channel. So I'll show you what I learned to make. And I didn't really go, whoops, I bumped you. Sorry guys. I didn't go to the extreme with these ones as I could have. And who knows, I might still. But she shows, there we go. She shows you how to make these fun laminated traveler style notebooks. And her tutorials and her channel, they're awesome. And yeah, I mean, all I have to make are the inserts for this. But, so this is where I got the idea to do these little clear pockets. And then I'm pretty sure I'm a Cool Mom. She does these, and possibly another gal. Anyway, I'm not the one to come up with the idea, and I'm just kind of calling it out where I got the inspiration. So I need to talk more about it, right? Okay, so anyway, I like to include the date I made the book, and I like to include where the book was made. So I stamped the date, and then I stamped where it's made, what state it's made. It's made in Washington. So I thought that was, and that's my own idea. So I'm excited to have that included in the book. Usually I have them have those in the front, but I didn't want to adhere it to this, and then it wouldn't adhere to the fabric, and it wouldn't. It did, but I wasn't comfortable with the durability. So the last thing I was going to show you about this book that I thought was a good idea of my own, you know, I didn't get this from any other channel or anything, but so in the middle of the book, where my hole is for my charms, it is these threads. So if you take the charms off, this thread will pull through the book. What is basically holding the charms on is this little knot and these. However, I did make these so that they can be bookmarks in the book. So if you want to, you can use both, or you can use one, but you can just turn to a page, close it. Kind of like how Traveler's Notebook bookmarks work. So then you can just open to the page you were at, and there you go. So yeah, it swings down. You can put it back in there. You get the idea. So, and then the last thing that is going to come with this journal, where's the middle of my book? Here we go. The last thing that is going to come with this journal are the items that I didn't use. And I went to the dollar store to, you know, when I was first getting into this, I went to the dollar store to find, you know, just some cheap, affordable supplies, because I wasn't sure how it was going to go. So I didn't really necessarily want to waste, you know, expensive paper crafting. I mean, so it was just kind of like yeah. Anyway, so I picked up some of these folders I was actually going to use these in the book, which I still might. I still might use these just like in the book, but I thought it would be fun to include extra stuff in here. And again, a lot of YouTubers use these to send off their books with extra supplies. So great idea, great minds, they're thinking alike here. And yeah, so what I did was I included just some extra, like this is something I didn't end up using, and it's a cute little fold out that they could use. Just some extra scraps of paper. I don't want to go to waste. And then this is just wrapped in some textile lace, and I like how it's wide. And I'll just go ahead and open it because it's just so cute and fun. So I've included just some extra ribbons and things, and then I wrapped some washi tape that I included in the book around a tag, and then here is a little envelope that has Velcro on it, and there are some flowers in here that I ran through my die cutting machine, and those can get adhered to the book. Here's an extra label, extra tag, and then here are just some little stickers that are they're like little stamps, an extra doily. Here's some extra lace. Oops, I meant to put that in the thing. So some extra lace, some extra twine, and then there are some, I think I'm just gonna move this, and then there's just some more little papers that coordinate with the book inside. So that I thought was really awesome to include. I know if I were to get a junk journal, I would be so excited about that kind of stuff. So I hope that the recipient feels that way as well. And yeah, so thank you so much, you guys. I think that's all that I have to share today. I hope that I've inspired you a little bit. And if you have any questions, please leave me a comment. Otherwise, you can like and subscribe my video if you haven't already. That'd be great. Okay, guys, I'll see you next time.